And when I'm talking about sperm, yeah, this is the structure of sperm. The sperm consists of acrosome. The sperm consists of a oval shaped structure called as head, and the middle piece, and then the tail piece. You can see here the tail piece, the head, and this structure is called as acrosome. Head piece, middle piece, and the tail piece. The head consists of a large nucleus. Yeah, this orange color is the nucleus that contains 23 chromosomes. I told you, haploid, only one set of chromosome. What is acrosome? Why acrosome is necessary? Suppose you take a sponge and another sponge. Can you insert two sponges inside each other? No. Suppose you take a sponge and you take a needle. Can the needle go easily into the sponge? Yes. So acrosome, yeah, also helping, or it is also same acting the role of a pin. Your ovum is very soft, and if sperm is also very soft, it cannot enter. So that's the reason acrosome gives stiffness so that the sperm can enter inside the ovum. So acrosome contains the digestive enzymes that can degenerate the outer membrane of this ovum and helps in penetration. So acrosome helps in penetration into the ovum. Nucleus contains 23 chromosomes that helps in giving characters or feature to an offspring. And middle piece contains several mitochondria, several mitochondria that is providing, very good, that is providing energy. What mitochondria will give? Energy. So middle piece consists of some hundreds and hundreds of mitochondria that provides energy. With that energy only the sperm can travel inside the female body. Tail, what is the work of tail? Tail helps in swimming to reach the ovum. Where it swims? It swims in the fluid. It swims in the semen. It even swims in the vaginal fluid and reaches the ovum for fertilization. Here you can see this structure. Yeah, the microscopic structure you can see here. This structure shows this is ovum, and all these are the sperms. Millions and millions of sperms are released, but female releases only one ovum. To fertilize that one ovum, you need only one sperm. You can see only one sperm. Once one sperm enters inside the ovum develops a very thick protective coat. So other sperms cannot enter. The door will be closed. So this is the process of reproduction. That's the reason millions of sperms will enter inside the body, but only one sperm could fertilize the ovum. So each month, woman releases only one ovum, whereas men can produce every day some millions and millions of sperms. Coming to now next is female reproductive system. When we talk about female reproductive system, very simple structure. Female reproductive system consists of pair of ovaries, here one and here one. And you have fallopian tube, pair of fallopian tube, here one and here one. These are the fallopian tube. And you have a bag, pear-shaped structure called as uterus. This is the cervix. This area is called as cervix. And this area is called as vagina. The structure of the ovary can be seen this way. I have cut the ovary. Inside the ovary, you can see many smaller Graafian follicles. What you can see? Graafian follicles. These follicles become mature and they release the ovum. When the ovum is released, the ovum will be traveled into the fallopian tube. From the fallopian tube, when sperms are entering, fertilization takes place and the growth of baby or the growth of offspring will occur. Suppose if fertilization occurs, if fertilization is not occurring, what happens? The ovum will be ruptured, menstrual cycle will be seen, and through that cycle, some amount of blood, the ovum will be out of the body of a female. Suppose if, ovum is not ruptured and fertilization has taken place, sperm has entered, yeah, you can see, then fertilization will take place. You can see step 1, egg leaves the ovary and enters the fallopian tube. You can see from the ovary the egg is released. This is egg. The egg is released and the egg is traveling now inside the, this is the egg. Now the egg is traveling inside the fallopian tube. This is the egg. You can see the structure larger. So after fertilization, zygote is formed. Zygote is diploid, made up of 2 cells after fertilization. Then zygote divides into 4 cells, from 4 to 8 cells, from 8 to so on, and it forms embryo. After the formation of embryo, embryo gets attached to the wall of uterus. This is your uterus, and to the wall of uterus the embryo get attached. This is called as implantation. What is implantation? Implantation is nothing but attaching of the embryo to the wall of uterus, and that process is called as implantation. So this is about that. After implantation, you can see growth of the embryo. The baby will grow and it develops many membranes. You can see all these membranes. The embryo develops many embryonic membranes. The outermost membrane is called as chorion. Chorion gives protection. And the second membrane is called as, the blue color you can see here, amnion. Fluid, the amniotic sac consists of the fluid called as amniotic fluid. The amniotic sac and the amniotic fluid helps in providing nourishment to the baby. It also helps in protection, providing nourishment to the baby and all, till the umbilical cord is formed. Then the third membrane is the umbilical cord that connects the umbilical cord connects the embryo to the mother's digestive system. Whatever mother eats, through that umbilical cord it reaches the baby. In first few weeks, amniotic fluid is helping in providing the nourishment. Once the formation of the umbilical cord, then umbilical cord whatever, and very important, formation of placenta. Placenta is a tissue formed from the cells of embryo and mother. Both embryo and mother together combine and forms a structure for protection of the embryo. At last, you can see different stages after implantation, how the embryo is growing. First week, second week, third week, fourth week, how exchange of oxygen takes place, how exchange of other things and all takes place. Once the formation of this, it takes total 280 days. How many days it takes? 280 days are required for the formation of this. That period is called as gestation period. From the stage of fertilization till the baby is till the childbirth is called as that. And during childbirth, the mother experiences labor pain. Then the baby pushes and the normal delivery occurs. If the child is not pushing and there are complications, then cesarean is done. A small operation is done to remove the baby and separate. Still the baby will be attached with this umbilical cord. Later on, doctor will cut that cord, separate the baby from the mother. After that, after the childbirth, the mother produces a lymph-like fluid called as colostrum, and this colostrum is released only for 2 to 3 days. Very important. Mother releases a lymph-like watery fluid. That child will have lot of immunity. It develops the immune system. Of the child. Very good. That's the reason it is said that as soon as the child is born, the baby should be given to the mother, so that colostrum comes only for 2 or 3 days, not more than that. After that, what comes is the normal milk, white color milk, what we get. So that's the reason it plays a very important role. And the last, I thank you all for hearing me. And do you know, sperms are the smallest cell in our body, smallest cells, and only present in males. And ovum is the largest cell in our body in humans, and it is present in females. And do you know, each male will release 550 billions. Each day, a male can reproduce 3 millions of sperms each day. But ovum, only a female releases 1 ovum per month. Okay, alternating with both the ovaries. In June, suppose right ovary, in July, the left ovary. So these are some of the facts about reproduction. Hope you like the class.